Alright, we got the new form of Arkhite, so let's begin. But first, a bunch of promos that I'm not going to go over, but going to show the art. So here they are, all the promos for the Vergila deck. The Dragon Empire budget deck of set 2 that is the manga protagonist. I'm just curious why they had to make all these cards promo when the deck was originally released in a regular booster set and we're on a break set right now, so I'm just curious why these couldn't just be in the break set. Regardless, these are all just okay. And now to the new Arkhite support with the new monsters. Our first card is Thunderclaw Monster La Langara. It's a grade 2 with 10 power and the skill is Auto Rearguard. When this card attacks a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, if your order zone has a research, plus 5k to the end of the battle. 15k attacker on its own, which is not too bad, especially when Arkhite can call it mid-battle. With the second skill of Auto Rearguard, at the end of battle this card attack, if you have at least a grade 3 Arkhite, cost retire this unit to draw a card. Considering the support that you can put the drop zone stuff to the order zone, this isn't too bad, especially being a 15k attacker on its own. Next, Armor Plate Monster Farfex, which is a grade 1 with k power and the skill is Count Guardian. If your order zone has at least 2 research, shield plus 5k. 10k shield, not too bad. Second skill, Auto Rearguard. At the end of battle this unit boosts. If your Vanguard is Arkhite, cost Soul Blast 1, return this unit to the hand. Obviously, the point of this card going back to hand is for the 10k shield. Regardless, it's another monster that you can actually just put to the order zone, which isn't too bad too, although I wouldn't completely say this is necessary, other than maybe for a back row call, even in mid-battle, and then bounce this back to hand. But this next one, Light Ray Monster Ravius, which is a grade 3 with 13 power, has the skill of Auto when placed on rearguard by the ability of Arkhite. This card gets this skill into the end turn. Auto Rearguard, when this card attacks, costs Carnival Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards, it gets minus 5k power into the end turn. And then, if your opponent's at least at grade 3, this card gets plus 10k power and 1 crit into the end turn. And also has Count Rearguard cannot be chosen by opponent's card effect. This card is just so good, it's like Orskadid without the extra shield power, but that 10k and 1 crit for free is just very good pressure against your opponent. And that's something I really like about this card already. And the fact that it has that little resist is also very nice. What's more is the additional skill where you can actually negatively impact your opponent's Vanguard. It doesn't even need to activate that skill. The 10k and 1 crit is free. So overall, one of the best monsters that we ever got, especially with the new Arkhite. In which we go to Innocent Monster in Paradise Arkhite, which is a grade 3 with 30 power. It's treated as the original one. It's probably going to replace the original one too, with the skill of Act Vanguard. Once per turn, costs Energy Blast 2, choose up to 3 monster cards from your drop zone and put them into the order zone. This is very huge because this is actually an Energy Blast 2 just to set you up with 3 cards for you to call. And this is something the original one doesn't even have. So this skill itself is already makes this deck really good, especially when it sets up for the next skills where Auto Vanguard, when your rearguard monster is placed, cost put a card with the same card name from the order zone into the drop zone, and that card gets was 10k. Compared to the original one where the cost is put to deck instead of the drop zone, it practically does the same thing. Although I would say this is a little better because putting in the drop zone, you get to do the choice soul charging from the drop zone, especially with the recent support. With the third skill of Auto Vanguard, when this card attacks a Vanguard, cost Counter Blast 1, choose 2 monsters with different names from the order zone and call them to rearguard. The original one lets you look at top 7 to call one of them. This one just straight up lets you call 2 from the order zone, and this one lets you set up the order zone. I say this one is technically better, especially the amount of monsters that we have now. At most, I can only see the original one being used as a first ride because looking at top 7 cards of your deck in the early game might be better than setting up the order zone, but consider with all the monsters and all the stuff that we have now, I think this is just going to straight up replace the original, because this one has the ability to set you up and give you more attacks than the original, and that power buff skill is not even once per turn. So overall, I don't see a reason not to play this new one over the old one. And next week we got the collab cards, and there's 21 of them. I'm not sure how I'm gonna go over that. So that's it for the new Arkhite. What do you guys think of it? Overall, pretty cool. Obvious improvement to the original. The new monster lineup is also very helpful. But other than that, there's really not much to say about it, other than basically does a little more than the original. But other than that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.